depending on how much snow falls where. It could be a 5, 10, even a 20-year storm. Either way, something rare enough to likely be remembered. Newswatch 12's Aaron Maxon joins us with a look at the storms that have already created their own history.
The most recent snowstorm, which people will remember, hit our area in 2008. The snow, up to 4 inches, reached the valley floor in late January, canceling school for almost everyone. Some kids even enjoyed several days of snow days. Phoenix Talent was the only district which didn't cancel school, that is. While the passes were chaotic and dangerous, of course, Highway 140 and the Klamath Basin saw the worst of this snowstorm. Whiteout conditions had crews out 24/7, and Highway 97 was all but deserted. At the time, many in Klamath Falls said they were grateful the snow was light, unlike a storm from the 1990s, which dropped so much heavy, wet snow that people were shoveling their rooftops to keep them from caving in. While that storm was obviously cold, it didn't freeze the Rogue River. The last time that froze was in 1972. It got so cold that year that the mills in White City nearly shut down completely because not only did the logs freeze into huge wooden ice cubes, it also froze the lubricating fluids inside of their machines. 10 years earlier, people were walking across the Rogue when a deep freeze set in during the December of 1962. It froze over near Gold Hill, and from the river, massive chunks of ice floated down, only to pile up and refreeze. But that was nothing compared to the winter that spanned 1948 and 49. The deep blue jewel of southern Oregon froze over. By mid-February 1949, for one of the only times in recorded history, Crater Lake was frozen shore to shore. That year, people even walked across the ice to Wizard Island. Because of Crater Lake's depth, a max of nearly 2,000 feet, it creates its own heat reservoir, ultimately keeping the surface water from freezing, usually, that is. It was also cold that winter, so cold, in fact, 65 years ago that the newspaper in Klamath Falls reported all sorts of wild animals were wandering into town looking for food and shelter. And while it's certainly cold outside right now and only to get colder, let's put things in perspective. The coldest temperature recorded in our area, according to the National Weather Service, was in January 1937 when a tiny town north of Lakeview called Valley Falls dipped to 37 degrees below zero. Live in the newsroom, Aaron Maxon, Newswatch 12.